this Celtics thing over the weekend. I heard some chatter on it, Skaz. Obviously, it got buried this weekend because of the Patriots. But Wick was spending Daddy's money, and Daddy's upset, and now wants to sell. The Celtics are making no money, and next year they're going to lose $80 million. That's pretty much the story. And Daddy doesn't want to lose any money, and it's time to pull the keys away from the kid. It kind of reminds me of AEW wrestling. You know, Tony Khan runs AEW and is spending all the money while his dad is really the guy with the money. But I heard something this weekend. How accurate do you think the story is, Guess?
What part? What part of the story are we...
Do you think that Wick spent Daddy's money and now they're making no money?
I think that's a very roundabout way to go about it. But that is technically what happened.
Okay. So you believe it?
I believe that. I don't think that's the reason they're selling the team, but I do believe that that's what happened.
Okay. No, I feel like they're selling the team because Irv is now upset at his kid. Where before, there wasn't any of that. Now he's like, oh, I heard that this story might be put out there to maybe help another side purchase the team. Not my take, by the way. I don't know if I believe that. Like, let's just use big names, okay? Kraft, Henry. Could they plant stories like this? It was the New York Post. Sources are all over this thing. I thought it was interesting to hear that. I don't know if I believe it. But this thing came out on Friday on a Friday news dump, and I heard really nothing about it. I know Gasper and Murray had a little bit on it. I didn't hear anything elsewhere. I watched football all day yesterday. I didn't see one thing about this. And then today I saw nothing. You know what I did see today, though? The NBA coaches list. Where does Joe Mazzulla rank as far as coaches in the NBA? I'd at least say top 10, right? I'd at least give it. That's me being like, really just, I'm going top 10. You could probably make an argument top 5, right? Maybe. Where did he show up on a list today, Skaz? You see this thing?
Yes, Joe. This was from CBS Sports. They did the top 30 coaches in the NBA. Eric Spoelstra, number 1.
Fine. I'm fine with that.
No problem with that.
I'm fine with that.
And then after that, well, it gets a little interesting.
Where was Steve Kerr?
Steve Kerr was number 4, Joe.
Oh, really?
Ime Udoka.
Oh, better than Mazzulla?
Number 8. And one Joe Mazzulla came in at number 11 on this list.
So he can't even crack the top 10? I'm trying not to be a green teamer here. I know you think it's ridiculous, right? You just think it's abs. Who's ahead of him? Who's ahead of him?
So ahead of Joe Mazzulla is Rick Carlisle, who's been in the league for a million years.
Who got beat by who?
We got beat by a much better roster with the Celtics, but did get beat by Joe Mazzulla.
Okay. Oh, so now you bring in rosters into this.
Well, I mean, it's all part of it, right?
I thought it was coaches.
I mean, coaching, you can only coach the roster you have.
All right, fine.
I think Joe Mazzulla is a better coach than Rick Carlisle, but
okay.
just trying to be transparent, Joe.
Objective?
Trying to be objective. So you have Will Hardy at number 7. I think that's...
that was a guy that was on the bench once, right?
I think that's a little too high for Will Hardy.
Okay.
Ime Udoka at 8.
Okay, fine.
I suppose.
I actually like Ime. I
Yeah.
think he's a good coach despite whatever we know or don't know.
We may never know.
We may never know.
Mike Budenholzer is 9.
Is he even... Where
Phoenix.
Is he wasn't there last year, though, was he?
I don't believe so.
So Coach Bud didn't even coach last year, and he's ahead of Mazzulla? Out!
Yeah, and then you have Tom Thibodeau at 10.
Here we go. We got an article right here. Tom Thibodeau is ahead of Mazzulla?
And I think Tibbs is a good coach.
Oh,
but
he's
yeah.
a damn good coach. Ahead of Mazzulla?
I mean, they have Greg Popovich at 14, Joe. So are we really going to get that upset about a list? I
think he's taken a big step back.
I don't know. Wemby looked pretty good last year to me.
Yeah, it was roster or coach, you know.
Roster's pretty bad, and
roster is bad.
I think
he's also the GM last I remember. He was.
Yeah,
he got Tim Duncan. I know that as a GM.
I just think if you're, I don't know, tough to have any NBA head coaching list where Greg Popovich is an active coach and he comes in at 14.
Budenholzer didn't even coach, and he's in the top 10.
Yeah,
former coach of the year. I get you.
Nick Nurse at 2 and Mark Daigneault at 6.
Nick Nurse at 2.
Yeah, that's why I can't get too upset at this list, Joe. It's Nick Nurse is
good defensive coach. Don't get me wrong, but he's the 76ers.
Had a great run with the Raptors, large part due to Kawhi. But yeah, there's no way. There's just no way Nick Nurse is the second best coach in the NBA.
All right, so we're out on the list.
Yeah, Joe, I would say that's a hard out.
All right, we're gonna write an article about this then, Joe. Get him on that. In or out on this list?
I do like that they had J.J. Redick at 30.
Oh, okay, J.J. Redick. There you go.
Worst coach in the league, hasn't coached a game yet.
I think that one's right. I'll go with that.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from my show, The Joe Murray Show, here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist.